Yo, wow, this angle's not flattering whatsoever. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Yeah, so I think I'm gonna start trying to do some of these like random videos like this where I'm just coming and just talking to you guys just straight up. Like, no editing, no fancy music, no, I don't know, funny skits or anything. Just, just kind of talk to the camera and get some stuff off my mind. Like shout out to like JT, the pocket watcher, because like he goes live and that seems to work. And I require a lot of editing in some of my videos. It doesn't seem like it, but I do, and it takes sometimes days to weeks. So I might just start doing some of these videos so I could feed that YouTube algorithm and maybe give you guys like a behind the scenes type of vibe on who I am and my channel and stuff like that. So just easy content I could just throw out there. We could talk about the stock market, we talk about what's going on in everyone's life, stuff like that. And maybe I might turn this into like one of these live sessions where, people can show up and interact with me. Because so if you guys ever wondering, well, how come I never do any live videos? Well, it's because I'm a little afraid that only 2 people will show up. And it'd be kind of embarrassing, me just like sitting there and talking about let's go live and nobody shows up. So yeah, but we're gonna get into the stock market talk here in a second. But if you look behind me, if you notice the bed's gone. Yeah. So as you can tell, I don't know if you've been following my channel, my backgrounds have changed multiple times. I went from having a man cave in my house to that man cave being taken away and replaced and turned into an office. Then I moved into the guest bedroom temporarily, and that got turned back into the guest bedroom. Then I moved upstairs into the loft, and then it was just too loud. The kids were walking through, people were just coming through. It was just, there was no privacy. So then I was relegated to my oldest son's room, who was only here a couple months out of the year. And as you can see, the bed has been moved now. It's now in my youngest son's room, and we're gonna put a pull-out sofa in here, which is just sitting in the hallway until my wife says she wants to paint or something. I don't know. Point being is this is ridiculous. I'm moving from like room to room to room. I'm thinking about just getting green screen and just calling it a day, because I keep getting relegated to all these different rooms. And what's really pissing me off, we got a 5-bedroom house with an office. That's extra. The office is extra. And you try to tell me you can't find a single place for me to have my equipment up and just shoot? By the way, if you guys want to see like my ghetto setup, this is basically it. This is it. See that periodic table elements chart? Yeah, that's my oldest son, man. He's into all that rocket science stuff. Look, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm okay with him being into science and rockets and whatever else, better than having to worry about him being a pill popper and stuff. So it's yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna figure things out. Don't know what I'm going to do with the background here, but it's just crazy. Anyways, let's talk about the market a little bit. Everyone has their little theories and where the market's going to go here in the future or in the next couple months. So I decided that I want to also do that. I posted it on my IG. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely follow me. It's at Trading with a Dummy. Trading with a Dummy. I'm saying it real slow because ever since the Red Panda review, all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of fake accounts and spam accounts that are trying to like get people to invest cryptos. I got people dropping, WhatsApp, hit me up on WhatsApp on my comments on my YouTube channel. Y'all, it's not me. I don't sell anything. I don't have anything to purchase. So it's just free content. So don't fall for that stuff. But it's at first it was flattering. I'm like, yo, finally there's fake accounts. That means I made it. But now it's just really getting annoying. It is. It's just getting annoying because I got to go through there and block and blah, blah, blah. It's just, anyways. So I was having a good conversation with one of my best friends. Shout out to Kadar. He's such a skeptic, man. He comes from the .com bubble. So he just has this whole negative vibe on the market. But he was, we were going back and forth on where the market's going to go, and he thinks everything's going to tank. And I'm like, dude, it's the S&P 500. Things are not going to tank. Some companies will definitely go nowhere, but I don't think it's going to get as bad as he's trying to say it was going to go. But anyways, I pulled up the chart. I'm going to throw the chart up here. That's the only editing I'm going to do. I'm going to throw it up here. But I was kind of showing him, but going all the way back to like 1995. If you zoom out, it doesn't look like much, right? It looks like it's just been kind of flat all the way from 1973 all the way until like basically 1994. But if you actually zoom in a little further, you actually see that it was moving. And yes, there was a period of time when things were somewhat flat for a couple of years. I believe it was 1969 to like the 1970s. But my point being, what I was trying to show him was that it doesn't really matter where you buy in at if you're a long-term investor. And I circle all these little spots on the chart showing that had you bought at the all-time high and the market tanked, you still at one point or another would have recovered. Because I was showing him, like, for example, the 2000s, that's when the housing crash happened, right? Had you been buying during that time and then the market completely dipped, you would have recovered by 2007. Yeah, I know it's like 7 years later, but the point being is you would have recovered. And then again, had you bought the all-time high in 2015, market went down a little bit, but within less than a year, or same year actually, less than a year, you would have been up. So I was pointing out all the major dips, and we're currently in one right now. And my thesis is, I know some people are saying, oh, the market's going to recover. We're going to be at 5,000 on the S&P 500 by the end of the year. I don't think that. But again, I'm not an expert, y'all. Like, I don't have any licenses. I don't have a Series 7 license. I technically shouldn't even have a YouTube channel speaking about stocks, but it's just realistically, this is my experience. You're following my journey as I'm learning through this process. I'm just trying to, be as transparent as possible and just kind of help people through my transparency, through my journey, the mistakes that I've made, the things that I've learned on the way. So I kind of, just want to help out people that way. But this is my theory. I plotted the two demand zones that I saw on the monthly. Once again, if you want to figure out good entry points, just go to the monthly chart and plot your supply and demand, and you should be fine. Like, it seems like the prices typically hit those areas. And then I put the fib. I put the fib from the massive drop from 2020 during the pandemic all the way up to the high back in November. And the fib lines kind of do align with the demand area, specifically the 0.618. If you guys are familiar with the fibs, that's always like a crucial pivot point. But right now we're heading down towards 3664 to 3764. So that's the demand zone that I have for the S&P 500. I think it's definitely going to hit there and probably bounce off a little bit. But my thesis, my speculation, that's all it is. And I'm going to leave this video up. I'm not going to delete it. So you can always go back a year from now and be like, oh, you said that the S&P would go here and it never did. So I'm not going to sit here and delete and act like I never said that. But my theory is that it's going to go down to the 0.618 area where the fib is at. And the demand zone there is from 3,200 basically up to almost 3,400. So my thesis and my theory is that with everything that's going on, I mean, we're dealing with inflation, we're dealing with a war, we're dealing with interest rate hikes, we're dealing with a president that, depending what side you on, you have mixed feelings on. Regardless, he's old. We're dealing with all these issues right now, and supply chain issues, food shortages are coming up because we rely so much on all these other countries. And I'm not seeing any catalyst to say that we're going to turn around anytime soon. I'm just saying, just look at my portfolio. It doesn't look like we're going to turn around anytime soon either. So my theory is that we're going to drop down to around that between 32 to 3,400, and then we'll bounce, and we're going to end the year off somewhere between 3,600 and 3,750-ish is my theory. I don't think we're going to end the year above 4,000. I definitely don't think we're going to end the year at 5,000. But again, what do I know? I'm doing this video because I want this to be up. So in the future, I could go back and be like, hey, you're definitely a dummy. You stay true to your name. Or I could just be a complete genius and I don't know. I guess I actually learned something. So that's really what I'm thinking. Yeah. So I mean, everything. This is what I have noticed though, looking at my portfolio, because I have a bunch of stocks. I'm very tech heavy, which is something I probably should have thought about before I was working on my portfolio and shoving things into my Roth IRA. I buy stocks. I like buying stocks. I'm collecting them like I'm Thanos, going from, planet to planet and just buying stocks that are just falling. But I got out a lot of my growth stocks late last year, so I didn't take a massive hit like a lot of people did. I mean, let me throw up this chart here and show you some of the crazy drawdowns on some of these companies that people were investing in back in 2020 that were up like in a ridiculous amount, and now look at where they're at. So I did cut my losses on a lot of those. I did hold on to Square, and that one just kept dipping. It was bad. I bought at 190, bought at 175, I bought at 150, I bought at 135, and then I just stopped buying. And I even did the charts on that, and I was like, oh, this is going to drop to 80. And sure enough, it's at 80. It's below 80, I think. Let me double check here real quick. So anyways, in my portfolio, what I did notice, it's $83. Block is $83. What I did notice is that surprisingly, like no joke, just is crazy. The only stock in my portfolio that is outperforming and doing well is AT&T. Who would have thought? Yeah, AT&T out of all the companies. And again, I just started investing like 2.5 years ago. So everyone was like, now if you long-term investing, you should be up in all your stuff. Like I said, I just started investing during the pandemic era, okay? So yes, most of your stuff is probably down. If you were an investor and started investing during that time, you're probably down. What was I going to say? Where was I getting? Oh yeah, what I noticed is that I bought AT&T when it tanked initially during its earnings. So my average is $18, and it's above that, as well as SPLK, which is also a dividend stock. So basically what I'm saying here, and I also got Intel as well. I bought into that when it took a dump. I'm slightly down on like Intel, like 2%. SPLK I'm not down on, and AT&T I'm not down on. And what I've noticed is that these dividend stocks that typically pay pretty well, they're surviving. They're not taking massive drawdowns like a lot of these growth stocks, or just good company stocks like Apple, Microsoft. Yeah, I know they have dividends, but I'm talking about like companies that offer like more than 3% dividend, more like around a 2 to 10% dividend. Those are all doing well, which is giving me an indication that that Wall Street, the market makers and stuff, they're actually pouring their money into more safer plays. If you look at cryptos dumping, everything's dumping. But my dividend stocks, which is kind of doing pretty well as energy. So this is what I learned. I hope it's saying my battery's low. What I learned is that it seems like the Wall Street is not even having somewhat of a bullish sentiment yet. We have these little relief rallies, and if you're familiar with futures, you know that there's a reason for that. Go up, grab liquidity, and then just drop again. So I definitely need to diversify my portfolio a lot more. Like I said, I'm very tech heavy. Tech is the future, but it would have been nice for me to have a little bit more diversification. I've recently started scaling into IIPR, which I've been waiting for about 2 years, which is a REIT, which is also dangerous to get into right now if you really think about it, because it's real estate, and real estate is probably going to bust here soon too. But this one's a little different. It's in the marijuana sector. It's like I always want to have some sort of exposure to marijuana instead of buying these marijuana stocks that are like speculative and go up and down and are not meeting earnings half the time because it's all legalization with it. I was like, let me just get the real estate that actually rents out and sells to these grow houses and stuff. So I got into IIPR, started scaling, but I'm trying to shift my portfolio a little bit more towards ETFs. Yeah, I think ETFs are a little bit of a safer play. Also, if you're into bonds, the I bonds right now are giving like almost 10% guaranteed return. So I noticed a lot of people are start shifting some of their money over there as well. So you kind of have to just follow the money to get an idea like what the sentiment is. But again, I'm not seeing any catalyst, anything that's making it seem like the market's gonna reverse. You have your technicals, cool, but fundamentally, things are not looking good. I don't see what some of these so-called experts are seeing right now. Maybe it's just like lip service or try to have a positive attitude towards the market, because anytime there's a dip, it's always, everything's on sale, it's a buying opportunity or it's a lesson learned. That's always the go-to answer. It's everything's on sale. I went shopping today. Yeah, but then next week you're like, I'm still going shopping. 6 months later, I'm still going shopping. Yeah, because you're losing all your money. And I think I'm going to stop buying the dip right now. I think I'm just going to wait until like the sentiment changes. Wait until things actually look like they're reversing and staying that way, like an upward trend. I'm just kind of tired of buying stocks and they just keep dipping because I have my levels pointed out and I'm buying at these demand zones, but they're blowing through the demand zones. It'll bounce and then it just keeps dropping over and over and over. So yeah, I think I'm just going to take my time, and I think you guys should too. I'm already 16 minutes in. I can't keep anything short. That's the reason why it's hard for me to do my videos, by the way, is because I don't know how to stop talking. I just keep talking and talking to nobody on the other end. Is there? Nope, there's nobody on the other end. It's just me talking into the camera and my dog over here who's literally like on his last leg. Hey, Mac. Yo, Mac. He's either ignoring me or he's hard of hearing. He's old, but yo. Hey, Mac. Yo. 2 shits. Gives 2 shits. See, that was his headbutt. Yeah, I'm still alive. Don't worry, I'm still alive. So, but yeah, he's getting old. But yeah, I mean, what do y'all think of this type of video? Would you guys like me to keep kind of doing these videos, like maybe dummy thoughts? That could be a name of them, dummy thoughts or thinking with a dummy or something. I don't know. I think I might try to do this every week or maybe like once or twice or something. Get the algorithm going while I edit some of these other videos that I'm working on. By the way, I have some great news. I did do an interview with JT Pocket Watcher. That's in the can. Dustin Tibbetts, who is a financial advisor. I'm probably going to drop that one next. That is a very important interview. I think a lot of people should probably maybe potentially reach out to him as a financial advisor because he's actually licensed. I got some other stuff lined up here next week and some other YouTubers I may work with in the future. And of course, if you haven't done so yet, you'll follow my other YouTube channel that I have a podcast with Mo from OTB Clubhouse. It's called Money Market Truths. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, but if you want to see the visual, it's on YouTube. So definitely go over there. Just click that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Just hook a brother up. Give me that HBO special. This is why I do editing, because I mumble. I slip up on my words, and it's embarrassing. But you know what? This is me. This is what you're getting, real life right here. Yeah. So I'm planning on doing a little bit more interviews and also the cheat code algo review. Some people asked me about that. Yes, I know. I said I was going to drop that like 2 months ago. I shot part 1. I wrote the script for part 2. I just haven't edited it yet. And if you're wondering why, sometimes I do. I just have no desire. Like, I have so much going on. And before I was just trading and just doing YouTube, and it was cool. But then I got a job opportunity, and I went back to school, and I have all these other streams of income. So it just, things started picking up. So I don't always have as much time as I want. Hence why I think maybe I should just do some of these where it's just like no editing required. Just shoot it and then put it out there. But yeah, no, the cheat code algo review is coming out. Okay, so don't think that I forgot. And the cheat code people were like waiting. When's my review coming out? It's gonna come out. All right, it's gonna come out. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm going on almost 20 minutes. But let me know if you guys like this type of content, if you want me to kind of shoot some of these videos and keep them shorter instead of just 20 minutes. And just let me know what you think. I could talk about random things. Maybe I should do this live. We could go over some charts or something, or talk about fundamentals. I have those conversations with my friends all the time, so why not have it with an audience, right? That would be kind of dope too. And just kind of just bullshit or whatnot. So. But yeah, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with this background now, because this is ridiculous. I mean, maybe I might stay in here. Maybe I might put the couch back there, the pull-out couch, and put a plant or something after she paints. I don't know, or just get a green screen. The green screen might be easier because I could shoot anywhere in the house. When I keep getting kicked out of my rooms in my house, acting like we ain't got no space. This is stupid. There's no reason I should be arguing about having a room to shoot. My dogs even have a room. Yeah, my wife created a room for the dogs. We have storage closet underneath our steps, pretty big storage closet, and she made it a little area for the dogs to sleep and eat their food and chill. And this asshole down here, all he does is piss in there, and I don't have a room to shoot these videos. This is stupid. Peace out.
I'ma make you mine tonight, pulling your hair, baby. I feel you breathing on me, on you.